How much does it cost to start a landscaping business? About 15 bucks. I'm gonna explain to you how I started a landscape business for $15 and how I believe you can do it. I don't think you should go look for another job or try to find a higher paying job unless it's like a really good, amazing job and it's like your life's passion or something like that. But if you need to make money and you wanna start a landscape business, listen to what I'm about to tell you. My name is Keith Kalfas, and I am the founder of the Landscaping Employee Trap YouTube channel and creator of the Untrapped podcast. My little cousin, well, he's not little no more, but he drew this, and he's got a channel called Learn How to Draw a Hub. Thanks, Nathan. So this is how I did it. I always thought that you needed like 30 grand to start a landscape business. So here I was working these dead-end landscaping jobs, frustrated because I wanted to start my own business, but I had this preconceived notion, this mental barrier, this self-limiting belief that it took like 30 grand, so it felt impossible to me, right? Well, what happened was my back was against the wall a long time ago, and I was in debt. I was about to get married, and I couldn't find any ways to make any more money, and so I just started going out and doing side jobs by posting ads on like Craigslist and on the internet. So after work all day landscaping, I would go out and do side jobs. But how did I do the side jobs if I didn't have any tools? My buddy Dave rented me a wheelbarrow, a rake, a tarp, and a shovel. Oh, and a broom, I think. Yeah, for $15. And I actually started the business out of the back of my wife's car with paper bags that I got from Lowe's. And so I was going out and posting ads, and I was going and pulling people's weeds, and I got, okay, the first job was 15 bucks. It was to trim somebody's bushes and pull all the weeds and put down mulch. Yeah, I borrowed my father-in-law's truck, his pickup truck, and I got the mulch delivered to the job site. So I'm lying to you. It was $65 because I got a pair of electric Black & Decker shrub trimmers from Home Depot with an extension cord. So it was like 65, so about $80 I started the business with. So I went and I did this side job, and so I had the rented tools for 15 bucks, and I'm trimming the shrubs, and then I cleaned everything up, and I returned my buddy's tools, and then I took the money and I went right back to Home Depot and I bought my own rake, a tarp, and a broom. So now I had a rake, a tarp, and a broom, and some Black & Decker hedge trimmers and some paper bags from Lowe's. And then I had to give my father-in-law's truck back, obviously. So I'm out of the back of my wife's car, showing up at like 7 o'clock at night in front of these people's houses, and trimming their bushes and pulling their weeds. And I would take the money and I went and bought a wheelbarrow, and then I took the money and borrowed some money. I bought a cheap little rusty truck from Craigslist, and I just literally worked, I'm not lying, 90 to 100 hours a week, nonstop. It was absolute insanity. I was sleeping in my truck. I was pulling over in parking lots because I was so tired that I was actually shaking. And I didn't sleep for like 2 years straight. I'm not even lying. I slept about 3 to 4 hours a night for 2 years. I destroyed my entire personal life. My wife wanted to divorce me. She was screaming at me. She didn't understand what was going on. The whole world was crazy. Nobody believed in me. I was just like, but all I knew was that my back was against the wall and I had to get this business off the ground because I had no other choice. So that's how I did it, right? You can start a landscape business with no money. If you want to cut grass, go on Craigslist and go find I'm literally saying like a push mower or the cheapest little $50 lawnmower you can get, and go out and start push mowing people's lawns. I don't care if you're a grown man. If you're a grown man, let's say you're like 27 years old and you're broke and you work in a dead-end job and you have no money and you're too proud to go get a push mower and push mow someone's lawn for like 30 bucks or something, and you don't even have a blower, so you use a broom to clean it up. You don't even got a weed whip and you're embarrassed. Go cut 3 lawns and then go buy or 4 lawns and go buy a cheap little pull start from Home Depot or Lowe's, little handheld blower, and then go cut some more lawns and say, hey, I ain't got the money, or go sell something, and then go buy a line trimmer, and then you stuff all that stuff in the back of the trunk of your car with like a bungee cord hanging out, If you don't have a car, I don't know, use a bicycle or a moped and pull a wagon around and go make money. But the way I think about all this stuff is what were you doing when you were 14? Why were you smoking weed and stealing beers? You should have been hustling, working 90 hours a week, getting your business off the ground. And because at the end of the day, nobody cares, nobody's coming to save you, and if you end up broke, living behind a dumpster, nobody cares, nobody's coming to save you. If you become a multi-millionaire, and you literally have a mansion with like a Ferrari and a Bugatti and all this amazing stuff, and you got a vacation home and you have all this amazing stuff, nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're rich or you're cool or you're buff or you have ripped abs. Nobody cares. People only care about how you treat them and how you make them feel when you're around them, and what they get or how they feel or what they get from you, including all your customers and pretty much everybody. There's very few people in this world who really care about you. And they really exist. You just have to be receptive enough to see that. And the only reason I'm telling you all that is because once you kind of get that, you realize nobody cares that you're out there sweating, digging with a shovel, getting a landscape business off the ground for 80 bucks. So just go do it. And if you have too much pride, go do something else. And if you don't want to do that, I don't care. Nobody cares. The reason why I was able to do it, how was I able to do that? Because it was really hard. Getting a business off the ground was the hardest thing ever. You want to know how I was able to do it? Because I was so ashamed at the thought of making someone else's life a living hell. In 2007, I got in a car accident and I got sued because I didn't have any car insurance, right? And this car insurance company sued me, and I paid it all off eventually. But basically, I was so broke when everything in my life all fell apart. I had to go around to my friends and family begging them for money just to get about like 1,500 bucks together to pay these attorneys and not end up losing everything just to eat. And I was so ashamed of myself that I let myself get that far down in the hole. And I was a workaholic the whole time. It's just the job wasn't even making enough money to even pay the bills. It was making barely enough money to survive a full-time landscaping job as a foreman. I was a foreman running a crew for a multi-million-dollar company, working full-time and overtime, and it wasn't enough money to survive. So there is no job, unless it's some super high-paying job, that's ever you're just screwed. You're totally screwed. So you're gonna have to start your own business, and that's all there is to it. So, I could have made this video really quick, but I just wanted to riff on that for a minute. There's these really painful times when you're out there alone, when you're getting a business off the ground, which is like every day. But the pain turns into passion. You have passion and it's beautiful. I remember days I'd be out there watching the sun go down. I still do. But those days in the first few years, you're literally bleeding. You haven't slept in days. You're literally working. It's Sunday night and the sun is going down and you're on some property working for some customer who doesn't even care, doesn't care about you. Why would they? And you're doing it for way too cheap, and you're out there like finishing that last lawn and blowing it off, and now you're doing it in the dark. Your woman is calling you, screaming at you because you are a piece of and I got to the point with my wife, I was like, why did you even pick me? Why don't you just go get with some other guy who's already evolved past this point, who's totally got his shit together, and then you can just circumvent this whole issue. You're beautiful, you can get anybody you want. Let's end this right now, and then I can be free, you can be free, and you can go be with Mr. King Kong perfect, and then you don't have to be with my stupid ass. Peace out. Boom. Now, you can't take nothing from me. I'm building this business and no one's gonna stop me. And I was like that. I was mean sometimes to my wife because I didn't want to, and she was actually pretty loving and caring and supportive for the most part. I had to be a really cold person and shut off a lot of emotions to get the business off the ground. You only have so much energy, right? So I was mean sometimes because you gotta do what you gotta do to get this thing off the ground. And when someone else doesn't understand, they just don't understand. But she came out, my wife came out, she shoveled rocks with me. She came along on quotes. She showed up to job sites and brought me like iced cappuccinos. And dude, I love my wife, bro. She's a ride or die. So anyways, you don't have to have support, you just do it anyways. You're gonna have family members that hate you, think you're stupid, whatever. When you get your business blown up and you're making, You hit $250,000 and you got your brand new truck and you got a crew and you got some employees and you finally moved out of that crappy trailer or apartment and maybe get a house or something. Then you do 350 grand, 500 grand. You're gonna realize, looking back, that nobody cared the whole time. It's this really weird thing. Like, you think that when you finally break out of the hole you're in and you become successful, that everybody's gonna be proud of you, or like maybe, but really it's like, you just gotta be a hustler. And I think that's the definition of a hustler. You gotta do hard things. You gotta do hard things. So that's how much it costs to get a business off the ground. Hey, I said how much it costs. I didn't say how much money does it cost. I said what it costs. So I hope that serves you. I really do. And I hope to meet you in person one day and shake your hand. I'm in my studio right now. If you wanna listen to some good books, there's tons of them. I get tons of frequently asked questions. I'm gonna promote my books real quick. I wrote 3 books. They're on Amazon and on audible.com. You could download the Audible app and buy my books, dude. I promise you, this book especially. So this one's called How to Start a Landscaping Business Right Now with No Startup Money. This is a very motivational, fun, quick read. You can get the paperback book. Just type in Keith Kalfas on Amazon or go on Audible, right? Or go to my website, keithkalfas.com. Or this one is called Your First Year in the Landscaping Business. If you're in your first or second year in the business, or you're just getting started, please listen to this book. It will transform and circumvent so many of your weird little frustrations and worries and struggles. Like, this is, I promise you, I cried while making this book. All right, here's another book I wrote about the window cleaning business. I have a whole other channel called The Window Cleaning Blueprint. We just had like 15,000 subscribers over there, I think. And I do window cleaning too, because I didn't know what I was gonna do in the winter in Michigan. I was out plowing snow, but I needed money. So I was like, started a window cleaning business. And then there's one other thing here. You see that banner behind me? Marketing ROI. Click the link in the description below or go to keithkalfas.com. Put a link in the description below for more playlists and more videos. I wanna answer a lot of your questions. And if you like this type of just sit down video where I'm talking, I'll make plenty of these. I also wanna say, it sounds weird, but I feel like if you're binge watching my videos by any chance, I know you. And you really know the real me, and I really know the real you. And I wanna meet you in person one day, and I wanna shake your hand, and I wanna know that you got your business off the ground and that you're successful. I really do. And check out this shirt, Chance Daily Hustle, his YouTube channel. He's a landscaper too. He gave me the shirt, it's dope. Peace out.